So when I'm out in the field and I have to collect data about the vegetation that I'm studying, so the plants and what they're eating, I take notes on something that looks very similar to this. I actually took these notes myself in the field. And what that means is writing everything that happened that day. So who are you with? What time is it? Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? So this way we can refer back to environmental measurements as well as the measurements of the plant itself. And so in regards to the plant itself, we take the data here and we write things like, what's the height? What's the width? What's the length? This is a measure of the volume of the plant, which gives you an idea about how dense it might be. Then we also measure things like what other plants are around it. Is there a lot of other vegetation or is it just by itself? So similar methods that we talked about with the birds, or we will talk about with the birds, we also think about those things with plants because everything lives in a community. And so you have to think about it in terms of where is it, who's around it, and what does that mean? This is also the way a field notebook could look like, and it actually might be more similar to the one that you might be creating when you're collecting the research. So what I recommend was to turn it this way, because then you could have better columns that signify different measurements. So for example, this might be what you want to recreate as your notebook. I do want to say though, although purple is nice to look at, sometimes pencil works better because you could erase what you're doing and if you make any mistakes. But this is what your notebook might look like, and you are welcome to create it in a similar vein as this one. And so if you turn it around, there is a page where you can create the same kind of grid outlines just across so that you can better separate the different measurements that you're taking. So I know you won't be measuring a lot of plants in the field, so I just wanted to show you what the data sheet could look like if you're measuring birds and bird behavior, bird characteristics, or anything that you see really in the world. This is an example from when we are actually observing the birds, like I told you previously. And so each line signifies the time. So what at 6:13 a.m. that bird flew from the center of this tree to that tree. And so that's one line here that we annotated to make sure that we remember everything the bird did. So we also tend to look at what the weather is like. So what's the temperature outside? Because sometimes when it's really hot, birds don't like to be out. And so, yeah, just keeping track of everything that you see. So for example, right now, I can hear a bird chirping this way. And so if I were to want to write that down here, I would write the time and I would say bird chirping and maybe the location of this tree, for example.